two of the happiest guys to ever review horror movies. Welcome to this week's edition of the Horror Debate. I am Jeff Rowdy Jake here, and alongside me, as always, Mr. Michael Mandy.
And this week, we are going to be debating a film called On Bloody Sunday from 2007, directed by Christian Sesma. He's a guy who...
the Cessna plane?
I don't think these planes were named after him.
Oh, okay. All right. Just checking.
I don't think they'd fly too high off the ground. But anyways, this is an example of, we don't always do the big budget 20th Century Fox released films. This is definitely a low budget film.
In fact, I looked for this specifically. I looked for a specific type of film for this one. I wanted something so far off the beaten path
and so
that nobody's heard of it.
And low budget,
okay?
First time guy.
Because we kind of pride ourselves on doing all types of horror movies. It doesn't matter if it's done in your basement or done, with the highest budget known to man. We want to see it, we want to review it, and we want to give this guy a fair shake here.
Well, not only that, also sometimes the low budget films that are so far under the radar, they get away with a lot more because they're not scrutinized by 8 different producers.
True.
Who each contributed $40 million each, so they want, a positive control over their investment.
Right.
Sometimes when it's just one guy and one video camera and 10 buddies and a Home Depot credit card,
right,
you can have some serious good things.
Yeah. You know how I found this, Mikey?
How did you find this?
I was looking at a news story about a guy on Myspace who was soliciting young girls, and there was a link on the side of the page that I was reading that said Myspace Killer. And I clicked on that, and it took me to this movie, this thing about this movie. And I said, it was like some little website somewhere that was talking about this movie. I said, oh, wow, okay, so this is exactly the type of thing I'm looking for. And besides, we're on MySpace, the Horror Debate's on MySpace, and I just thought it would be a cool little thing to do. Unfortunately, the movie didn't kind of follow that so much. I was kind of expecting something else. I was expecting like maybe, the stalker on MySpace, which it kind of was, but it wasn't like... The movie didn't revolve around that so much. It was. What
are we looking at, Jeff? What's the plot of the film?
That's what I'm trying to tell you, Mike. Listen.
But you're going around.
Listen. It's this dude who's getting people to come out and meet him so he can basically torture them, right?
Well, kind of. What it is this dude goes onto people's MySpace page and he checks out all their friends, and then he starts sending them like invitations to a party.
Yeah, right.
Right. You know how you can do those announcements on MySpace where you send one message out to everybody who's on your friends.
Right.
Hey, come to a screening tomorrow night, or a party over at so and so's house or whatever. And so that's what this guy does. And of course,
but I guess what I was trying to say was it just felt like that was kind of convoluted under a bunch of other stuff. It didn't feel like like Strangeland. How he's doing kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I thought this was going to be. I was watching this movie at the beginning going, is this Too Fast, Too Furious? Or what's going on here? We got this fight scene. I don't know what's going on with the, I'm watching this thing. I'm waiting for the Myspace Killer to show up, right? I want to see somebody get hacked.
Yeah.
Right? Literally.
I think
I'm not getting that.
That fight scene went on just way too long.
Yeah,
I mean,
and then you got Danny Trejo, right?
I love Danny Trejo.
I love Danny Trejo too, but what in the hell was he doing in this
movie? When I saw
movie?
his name on the credits, I was like, all right, And here's what Danny Trejo did. His whole thing, break it up. He was a ref in this fight scene, and that's all he was doing.
Just for his name, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I guess.
Just for his name.
Maybe he just showed up because he saw catering trucks.
I was totally expecting him to get on, in front of the screen and go, "Hey, Mikey, it's okay, Mikey. How you doing, Mikey?"
I don't care.
From Halloween,
wanted to see him come up and go. I was hoping, he could be the killer.
Well,
or whatever.
I'll tell you the honest truth. When I saw this flick available and it said Danny Trejo, I said, "Oh,
yeah, all right. This has got some production value behind it."
Yeah, but no, he didn't. He was rendered completely ineffective.
Yeah,
he shouldn't have even been there.
No,
right? So anyway, okay,
that was a letdown.
So my point is what I'm trying to say is that this movie, I felt it going way too far around the point. It was like circling the point. Okay? And occasionally you'd get like a kill, right?
And because it's so low budget, it happened off screen, and you just heard a crunch.
Yeah,
or something.
Well, Incredibly low budget, $135,000 to make this film. And you got to give the guy props for doing what he wanted to do. You know, I totally respect that, and I think we both could relate to that. But as far as a product, and I got to be honest with you,
if you're a horror film and you got 8 friends over and you say, hey, dude, let's watch a scary movie, or if you've got a girlfriend and you say, hey, let's watch this, I want her to, you know, jump and give me a squeeze or something, this is not the film.
No, it's not a well-rounded product. I guess is the best thing I can say. It kind of convolutes the issue. It doesn't feel like a horror film most of the time when you're watching it. The character dialogue is too drawn out. It's shot, and again, low budget, and I understand that, but it's shot in a really kind of, I don't want to say amateurish, but in that kind of vein. It's
you know, when
it almost feels like a camcorder shot.
That's what I was about to say. When I was a kid, I had my parents' camcorder, and it looked like bad soap opera.
Yes.
You know, that's, you know.
Yes.
You know, I'm going to just, you know, Christian, this kind of, you know, he didn't go to film school.
Right.
So take this as this is one of his projects.
Right.
You know, so...
Well, this is the type of guy...
I'm going to give him credit for he's starting lower on the rung than your normal film school graduate, and this is my first film.
This is the type of guy that I would love to interview on the program. That I would love to interview here because, you know, what did he go through? I mean, we watched the additional features on his film. What did he go through to get these actors?
He had a casting call. It's not like he just, you know, hey, he got his 5 buddies together and said, let's make a movie, and I'm going to star you because you're my best friend.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, no, but I mean, he went through...
okay, I got you.
You know, he went through a casting thing. I love the fact that he put the special features on the DVD. I think that helped warm us up.
Yeah. You know,
he gave it his best shot, and he's
trying. I'm so torn, Mikey. Help me.
Yeah, he gave it his best shot, and he's trying, and his heart's in the right space. He even rented a crane.
Yeah.
You know, and this wasn't all filmed out on location. He actually had a studio for the inside scenes. One problem that I had was when one of the people was getting tortured, and they said, we're going to douse you in gasoline and light you on fire. They didn't need to do that because he didn't have the budget to show a guy in a fire suit with all that running around. So, I'm on fire, like most films do. They just poured the obvious water on top of the person and then flicked a match in their hand, and then now we're outside.
Off screen. You know, okay.
And then there was no charred remains smoldering either. They didn't give us the after.
So the premise you're liking.
Yeah, well. Yeah, it could have been better. It took me a while to figure out the whole premise.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? When you read the description of the film, it gives you a mental image of what you're going to see.
And then when you see it...
When you see the film, you're confused because it is that, but it's underneath layers of dialogue and character development and things that make it seem convoluted.
You know what? One thing that I kind of bugs me in films, and not just this film, but a lot of films, is they want to create an ugly Betty, and so let's get a hot chick and put glasses on her and give her a bad haircut. Now she's ugly. I'm sorry. In this movie, the main character, Isabel, is walking down the street, and people are throwing garbage at her. She's so ugly, and I'm going, she's not ugly.
She's not ugly.
What are you talking about? You
know, so I guess what we're going to say, Mike, what are we going to say here? We're going to say that I'm going to say, did I enjoy this film?
Did you?
No.
No, I didn't either.
Do I respect what he did, how he did it,
and with
what he had to work with?
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know that you could do a whole lot better visually and audio-wise with the amount of money that he had. I do think you could characterize better and get to the point faster and more unequivocal than what this movie did.
Well, like I said, I think he's starting from lower on the ladder than the average. You know, like John Carpenter's first film was Assault on Precinct 13, but he had made other films before that.
Sure.
They just weren't films that were widely released. He did them in film school.
Sure.
You know, the same thing with Steven Spielberg. He had more experience before he did Duel. Whereas Christian Cessna here, this is pretty much the first thing he did that was 90 minutes long.
Right.
That he had to have a casting call and build sets and rent that crane.
I would love to get, if you're listening, Christian, if you're listening, and I'm not dissing you. I'm telling you straight up, I want to talk to you. I want to do an interview. I want to put it on the horror debate.
I want to see what you're doing next. Okay?
I want to talk to you about this film because I have quite a few questions just in the style of it, in the writing of it. You know, I want to get to the core of it. I want you to be able to express what you were trying to do.
Yeah.
Because I think most people who watch this film are going to have the same opinion we did.
The thing is also, Christian wrote this as well.
Right.
So, I mean, it's kind of hard when you're the writer. I mean, this happens in the major studios, too.
Yeah.
To write your own film.
Because you're too close.
And direct, yeah.
Yeah.
I think this film could have used some distance by having someone else write it or someone else direct it.
So basically what we're saying is anybody who wants to send us their film in pre-production or whatever.
But it's got to be semi-legitimate film like this was.
Yeah, absolutely.
This film has, this was on Netflix.
Yeah.
So that's why when Jeff sent me, dude, we got to watch this film. I looked it up. Netflix. There's a thing on Internet Movie Database.
Yeah.
It's got Danny Trejo in it. Okay, this is a real film.
Yeah. You know, people are dissing it pretty hard on the internet, and they're
losing perspective.
They're taking some shots that don't need to be taken, I think, on a film like this because, again, they're not thinking about what the guy had to start with.
Which was nothing. And no formal education either. I mean, come on. They're making films.
Oh, come on. The guy went to kindergarten.
Yeah. No, I mean, film school education.
Oh, gotcha.
Film school. I mean, like, my 16-year-old niece said, I'm making a film in my high school film class today. I'm like, Christ, they're teaching film in high school?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've got to film a video. Let's go out to the train tracks.
Right.
So, I mean, he didn't go to USC film school and make 8 films already.
Right.
So he's
I respect
starting lower.
you, man.
Yeah,
I respect Christian. I think
I want to see what you're doing next because that was your homework, and now it's your test.
Yeah.
Your next film is your test, man.
So
people, I'm not going to be so nice. Your next film, you got to learn from this. You got to learn from this film, man.
Mikey.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. I watched it with my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law knows nothing about film. He's just there to, say, hey, it's a decent movie.
Yeah, I watch it with people, too, and they're going, this is a horror film? Oh, okay.
He would have given it a -4 stars.
Oh, yeah.
He was looking at me like, you are the biggest idiot in the world for turning this on.
I got in the middle of it. Can we turn this off now?
Yes. Yeah. But we were smarter. We had done our homework.
We are educated.
We had done our homework. We knew we're educated. Yeah. We knew that this guy was trying his heart out for $135,000,
which actually was 65 to begin with.
Which is why
we did our homework.
Which is why I am giving it 1 star.
Yeah.
Because I will not bomb him for trying this hard.
Yeah.
You can see the efforts there.
Yeah, he obviously had his heart in the right space, and he had nothing really. But, dude, how did you get Danny Trejo in this movie? Like I said, use him.
I am perplexed by the Danny Trejo thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's where most of the budget went, you better get that money back and go get somebody else and do something else because... like I said, the story, I could totally see the story working.
Yeah, it was interesting enough to fish out into a movie.
It's so relevant right now. If this had more money behind it, it would have been a huge deal. Mm-hmm. You would have seen, the Myspace Killer, or you would have seen that sort of thing. You would have seen big bulletin boards. It would have been a big deal. But because he only had $135,000,
and because he didn't have any hype behind him, he doesn't have a studio proclaiming him the next greatest, the next Quentin Tarantino.
Not to be totally sympathetic and everything, because the movie did blow.
Yeah, the movie.
It did blow. Let's be honest.
Yeah, so don't write to us saying your noses are so far in his.
Yeah, let's be honest now. We did not enjoy watching this film, but we are fans of people out there trying to do it.
Yep.
And one of these days we might even do it ourselves or try to do it ourselves. So.
And we hope it doesn't blow.
But if it does,
I couldn't pass
if it does, I'm sure this guy is going to be on us on the horror debate part 2, and he's going to be going, man, that movie blew. But you know what?
We'll be getting an email from Christian going, dudes, give it up.
Yeah. But you know what, man? Props to you, dude. You're out there doing it. You're doing what you love.
You're
and
trying.
That is what it's all about for us. And just because the movie didn't work out so well, let's try it again.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to be so nice your next film. you gotta, this is your test. Your next film is gonna see if you can grow or if you are gonna turn into Yuli Lamel.
Whoa! Don't say that word on the horror debate.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Yuli Lamel has got like 20 movies done, and he still sucks.
You know what, Mike? Here's why. Here's why he's allowed to do that. You know why? Because he does direct-to-DVD releases that make money.
Yeah, Yuli, your films aren't great, but dude, I'll give you props. You're smart. You know how to market your films, and you know how to make money out of them. And isn't that the bottom line?
His Zodiac movie looked legit. When you walked by it in the store, it looked, ooh, another Zodiac movie.
All of his movies look legit.
Then you watch it, and you're like, what the hell does this have to do with anything?
Exactly.
So
he knows how to make money off of his films, and you know what? Everybody who's making films would love to make money off of their films. Money's the bottom line. So Yuli, as a guy, I'm sure you're a nice guy, and I'll give you props. You're a smart guy, but dude, don't make me watch your movies again.
Yeah, exactly. The Myspace Killer could have tortured people by letting them watch Yuli Lamel movies.
That'll be the YouTube killer.
That's the YouTube.
I'm Michael Mandy. He's Rowdy Jeff. We'll talk to you next week at the Horror Debate.